Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 39 for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. My name is Marty Sleva, joined by Casey Wosu, Nick Calandra, and of course, producer Eric and Hachi Machi. Oh my gotchi, do we have a show for you all today? We got a couple good news bits that I'm excited to talk about, including Star Citizen. CitizenCon is coming up soon. We're going to get some big ol' updates on Star Citizen, which might come at the detriment of Star Citizen developers having to work 7 days a week for the next few years. No, next few weeks. I don't know why I said years. Well, it might be years. We're going to talk a little bit about the house that built Star Citizen. We'll talk about Balatro coming to mobile, which I know it's a big event in Nick Calandra's life, but also just a big event in I'm seeing a lot of people who are like, "Oh no, this is going to ruin my household by having this on mobile." We've been playing a bunch of stuff, and then as you see here, our main topic, we're going to be using the recent news of the Stellar Blade update, which is adding even more realistic cleavage physics to the character, along with Hideo Kojima revealing the Death Stranding 2 photo mode, which is ostensibly creating a photo shoot with the actresses who are in Death Stranding 2 and sort of using that to springboard and just talk about what's going on with sex in games. We pro, we con, who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong. Like, how do we feel about the idea of titillation? This was a Nick topic, let me tell you. Casey and I were like, we want to do something serious. We want to talk about the industry, maybe journalism. But Nick was like, no, I want to talk about titties. And so we're going with what Nick said.
And what Nick says goes, as you all know.
Nick says goes. No, this was not.
I don't want another video with my face on it.
This was Casey brought up this topic. I thought it was great. I'm always down to talk about this.
Yeah, I think this is a fun topic, honestly. Yeah.
And I think we have three very different. I think we have three different points of view on it, so I think it'll make for something fun. How are you guys doing? I'm sorry I threw you under the bus, Nick, but I also pulled you out from under the bus.
Listen,
so
I just want to
technically, I'm one of America's heroes.
I think this topic was specifically chosen because I had to check out on my Airbnb today and go back to my parents' house, and so my dad, if my dad ever walks by the stairs and hears me talk about Gooner stuff, then it's your fault.
I mean, he'll probably just be like proud, right? He'll be like, yes, finally, my son is talking about titties.
He's finally made it in his career where he can talk about titties.
Goes by them goon rules.
We're gonna have to make a T-shirt for this.
What, about goon rules?
Goon Squad.
Goon Squad. Can't see how's Goon Squad going for you.
It's actually going pretty well because I'm not gonna have a ton to talk about in terms of like games I've been playing because I've really only been playing Zenless Zone Zero, and that game is just all goon all the time.
Was this your like secret way to be like, how do I convince them to talk about Zenless Zone?
Like talk about Zenless Zero some more
in a different way, and this is actually genius. Yeah, that's good.
When did goon become a phrase for this?
I got it from you guys. I don't know actually.
I don't know where it came from either. I only just started seeing it on social media.
Yeah, like I see it everywhere now.
Yeah.
Now we know who's online on Twitter too much. It's not me because I don't.
I first heard goon, I think, in 2008 on the Carter 3.
I mean, I knew.
No, that's not the same.
Those are different goons.
Different. I knew.
So when he says I go by them goon rules, he's talking about something else.
Yeah. This just came full circle because this whole time I've been thinking Goon Squad was Geek Squad at Best Buy, but it's actually Geek Squad, not Goon Squad.
No, it's like Goon Squad, but they come in your CPU.
Yeah, this is a new era of goon. Like the goon I grew up with is not the goon that the internet has right now.
Yeah. That's how they fix the thermal paste on my GPU.
Oh no.
Let me tell you, we're already getting some excellent super chats coming in before we get to the news, including Sussy Guru. Thank you so much for a €5 dono. Remember, all of your super chats, your donos, your patronage, especially that all goes towards supporting us for all the weird shit we do. The edited videos, the podcasts, the written columns by Darren, the very strange series we have going on like Battle Masters, and a lot of other great stuff behind the scenes. So we appreciate all of you. Sussy Guru, thanks for the dono. We need more sexy anthros in games. I feel like we have those in the indie space, which we'll talk about when we get to the main topic. But that's AAA. AAA needs to grow up sex, which is interesting. I almost want Darren and I have talked at length about how movies are getting less sexy and sexless, and people are getting kind of pearl clutchy when it comes.
Yeah.
Younger generations are getting.
Yeah, this
pearl
was like a whole study that was done and came out a little while ago about kind of the Generation Z outlook on
Yeah.
sex in media.
I think they even said like one of the bigger movies of the summer was Twisters. And without spoiling Twisters, there's like a main guy and a girl, and they're both really good looking, and they have chemistry. They never kiss. There's nothing. They never have sex in the movie. And at the end, they filmed the two of them sharing a kiss at an airport, and then removed it because apparently in test screenings, young audiences were like, "Ew, they're kissing." Like they fucking fought Mother Nature. Like, why are they not? Why are they not?
They just want to see the kiss of death.
I think kids just got tired of watching Game of Thrones and then having their parents walk in and be like, "Why are you watching porn?"
I did. Yeah, I mean,
there might be something to that. In all honesty, the HBO effect, because a lot of those series with just
your kids around.
Any HBO series, no matter what it's about, always had gratuitous sex in it. Like it seemed like it was like we need to justify the subscription cost by throwing in
Penguin. You having sex too, Penguin? Like I understand, like Colin Farrell, clearly, like, but Penguin.
Showtime was really bad about it too. Spartacus, my God,
yeah,
that was just soft.
They were on that wave.
They used to do that back then. Raymond Ward with $5 Australian. Thank you so much. Monthly funding goal: have Marty join the Hot Monday team to save Dokapon Kingdom and have Jess, Jack, Jamate, and Nick save the Dokapon Kingdom. Wait a minute, that's 9 people. Or have them. Raymond, thank you so much. And I know you guys got like some hot and heavy donos on Monday.
Yeah, folks.
Dokapon action.
Folks are gooning for more Dokapon, it seems.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're Doka goons. That's what we call it. Anyone who likes Dokapon is a
Doka goons.
For now on, if you send in a super chat, you get the Goon Squad shirt.
We can say you're loud and heard, and wheels are in motion.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
For the future of Dokapon, and also, I kind of want. I'm going to be honest. I kind of want to just stream a bunch of weird Mario Party. I want to figure out how to stream Sonic Shuffle, which was a Dreamcast exclusive Sonic Mario Party clone. That's why I sent a message asking, does anyone know how to use Parsec? And no one responded to me. I asked a work question and no one responded to me.
You didn't send that in a chat.
Welcome to my job.
Fucking, are you not in Second Wind staff, my friend? Because I feel like you are.
I
feel like you are.
I
feel like you are.
The greatest party game of all time, Fusion Frenzy.
Listen,
Fusion Frenzy was pretty like average, right? Am I misremembering that?
Well, it's one of those things, Nick Clogiers. It's one of those things that like an Xbox kid was like, I have it too. And you're like, yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's funny because I didn't have an original Xbox.
Oh, you're a fake Xbox boy.
Oh, so you're apologist,
and a GameCube.
fake apologist.
I didn't have an original.
You had
Xbox.
a GameCube?
Yeah.
You do not seem like someone who had a GameCube.
I'm
not weird enough for someone.
My parents wouldn't let me get one, and then my mom entered me in a raffle at like a school thing, and then I won it. And I'm like, this is mine now.
Did you carry it?
Oh, awesome! That's the lie I told to my parents when I just straight up bought an Xbox. I won it in a raffle.
My mom was the one that entered me in the raffle, not me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I love it. And then Fat Cock. Thank you so much. $10 dono before we get to the news. As a man of culture, I like goon in my games. No surprise there. Thank you so much, Fat Cock. Going to our first news bit. So Star Citizen, like I talked about, CitizenCon is happening later this month. It is a convention solely for Star Citizen. The developers are going to be there. All of its fans and backers are going to be there. And it is ironic that it's called CitizenCon because I'm getting more and more the feeling that this entire game is a fucking con. But one thing that Insider Gaming has reported on today is that Cloud Imperium Games, who are the developer of Star Citizen, have mandated that their employees ostensibly work 7 days a week until October 19th, which is when CitizenCon is going to be, and they said it's so that they can finalize the latest up-to-date patch for Star Citizen, as well as have the Squadron 42, which is the single-player portion, which stars every actor under the sun, to have its first chapter ready for this CitizenCon. And they pretty much were like, hey, usually we do Friday work from homes. We're not doing that. It's in the office. Also, you all have to come in on Saturdays for the next 2 Saturdays to finish this up. But we're gonna have lunch and dinner. Also, you have to come in on Sundays. But you'll get Monday off. You'll get the day after CitizenCon off. This is less. I don't want to talk about like this is bad practice, and more of like, what is this thing? Like, what is this thing? What are we doing?
It's a very strange and confusing operation there, because like this game has not released yet.
No.
Correct?
I mean, it's technically like in early access, and they have been making a lot of progress on it. If you talk to anybody that actually plays the game,
I have never talked to anyone who has played this game. No. So
as of May 2024, Star Citizen has raised over $700 million in crowdfunding.
Yeah. I've been keeping closer attention on the game. I think I said like a year ago I would install it and try it, and I still haven't done that. I'll do it at some point. I'm not making any firm dates because they don't either. But
you're getting into the culture.
Yeah,
I mean, are you going to CitizenCon? I don't know where CitizenCon. I haven't actually looked up where CitizenCon.
Yeah, how do you have a convention for a game that has not released yet? Like, I'm assuming this is the first one, right? Like, this isn't a thing that they've already been doing.
I believe this is the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Wait, no, you think this is the first CitizenCon?
I'm asking. I don't know.
No, this is not.
They've been doing this already.
They've been doing this yearly, yeah.
So
Okay,
is this the first?
wait.
This is the first year that they're mandating their employees work every day of the week for it.
Really quick,
Maybe.
I need us to guess where CitizenCon is. Nick, did you say Texas?
I thought it was in Austin, Texas.
Casey, where do you think it is?
I think it's in.
They moved it.
A city that starts with a B, Idaho.
Manchester, England.
Oh, yeah.
Where is this dev studio?
Apparently, this one's in England.
Yeah, they have one in England and they have one in Texas, I believe.
They only have one in fucking Finish Your Game.
Yeah, but
Finish Your Game, South Dakota.
The trailer they showed off for Squadron 42 looked really cool last year. I'm actually hoping we get an actual release date because they said it was content complete. They're in the polishing stage. So
how long was that?
Again, that was a year ago, and they said it was going to be about another year. So Squadron 42 is the single player game. Star Citizen is the big MMO that's in early access that they can continue to add to. I don't know. I guess they keep raising all that money for a reason.
Who's paying all that
literally
money?
What? I'm not trying to be an asshole. What is the difference between this game and what was that game the day before? The one that you did the deep dive on. I'm not being a dick. What is the difference between these two? Like, why do they get the benefit of the doubt and they?
I don't think they do. But you can actually play Star Citizen now.
How much does it cost you to play Star Citizen now?
I think you. I don't know what the early. I don't know what the most recent early access cost is. Somebody in chat probably knows, but I mean,
like we have to look into this, don't we? Like I feel like we can't. Like it's been so long, and none of us still really understand why this is happening. Like Nick, you said you were going to do it, but someone needs to do it. Like play this game.
all right. I will commit to it, and I will do an unpacked episode on it.
Please,
whatever makes it happen. Yeah, I need to know what the F is happening because that is an absurd amount of funding money. Like there's nothing that has raised more money than this. Correct?
As far as crowdfunding, no, I don't think so.
Right? And there's no AAA game in existence from any of the big companies, including the overseas ones like Tencent or whatever, that have ever spent nearly as much money on a single thing.
The Concord reporting from Colin Moriarty, which like we're not sure is 100% solid, but Colin usually has good sources, was that Concord was 400 million, and that would make it the most expensive game ever.
Right. Yeah, that was an absurd number.
And this would be ostensibly twice that. Yeah.
Right. So, what?
Also, I want to call quick dibs on two things. Okay. If the game is bad, I call dibs on Star Citizen, and if the game is good, I call dibs on Star Citizen. So I call dibs on both of those. Either way, I think I think I'm good.
Yeah, it's definitely just a game. One of I will use company funds to purchase and get in there and check it out.
I mean, isn't it like how much do we need to pay this game? Is it not?
Yeah, like
can I
that's
not
what I'm
just buy
curious
this
about.
game for like $40 on Steam?
Yeah, I was just looking at this. No, you can't get it on Steam. Looks like $45. But I also don't know what a self-land hanger is and 3 months insurance is. Oh, three.
Well, we
insurance.
definitely want airplane hangers. We definitely need airplane hangers. Clearly,
no. Get in on the. This is my suggestion. Get in on the ground floor. Get the most basic bitch pack you can get, so that you're in the world, and then see what the rest of the game costs, if anything, for you to like have fun. Like I need to know what that game is. Like, is all the fun hundreds and hundreds of dollars? Like, is that how they got
it? It is genuinely one of those. I do not know what this. There was a Tim Robinson skit on I Think You Should Leave, where he there's a woman like a driver's ed class, and they're watching a video of a woman who keeps getting into car accidents, and the woman keeps saying her job is tables, and the class and the teacher will be like, "Wow, that was crazy. Any questions, kids?" And they're like, "What's her job?" He's like, "It's tables." And then, like later on, they'll be like, "Seriously, what is her job?" He's like, "It is tables." And they're like, "We don't know what that means." That's Star Citizen to me. You're just being like, "Oh, it's Star Citizen. It's a game." And I'm like, "What is?" That's like saying its genre is tables. What does that mean? What is this game?
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's a fucking hilarious.
She does tables.
Yeah, the main way to keep track of it really is just a subreddit, which is active every day.
The main way for me
people are showing off like clips of their gameplay and everything. Like you can see the game in action.
I keep track of it by I add it as a news topic twice a year. I make fun of you for it, and then I do zero research and forget the game exists until 6 months from now. Although I feel like someone will write about Star Citizen Con in like 2 weeks. So I'm sure someone will go there.
And it'll be like that British Willy Wonka experience.
Oh my god.
I will have.
Here's the Star God. And he comes like crawling out. Can we send? How close is Jay to Manchester? Can we force Jay to go to StarCon?
That's not a terrible idea, honestly.
Not a terrible idea.
I would.
He wasn't busy moving here.
That's true.
I'm mainly super curious if we do get a Squadron 42 release date. That's the main thing I'm waiting to see out of that CitizenCon.
That doesn't bug you out that they would release an entire other game before the first game?
No, because that's
how
they've been pitching it since day one, that they were going to do a single player experience and use the tech from that to help build out Star Citizen, which is the MMO.
But like the way Jigsaw pitches your captivity is, I'm going to kill you at the end of this. So like just because they pitch it that way from the beginning, that doesn't make it a good thing. Shout out to John Kramer, the Jigsaw killer.
I don't know. I always maintain, like, people can do what they want with their money, and they must be seeing enough progress to continue investing in this game and funding it. And it's also like it's so many people's dream game that actually want to play it.
Yeah, like is this like reoccurring? Like the people who are into this, are they like paying like a monthly thing or just constantly microtransactioning? Or
no, you pay once to get in the game, but I think like you can pay for your ships and all that kind of stuff. Like it's definitely like a whale culture for this game, clearly. But I don't know. I guess like again, my friend from Nebraska played it, and he's put like 200 hours into Star Citizen, the alpha version. And then I've had a couple other friends jump into it. You can.
I am not joking. Would that friend be willing to like be on a stream with us?
Probably. Like
that, I'm sure that friend has way more to say about this than fucking I do. Like I think it'd be great if like we had him on let's do like a 3-person stream. You play the game, we get your friend, and then we get someone like Casey who's smart to ask the questions.
Be more interesting. I think we'll follow this up after CitizenCon, see what comes out of that.
Yeah,
I don't want the biggest
like this isn't like gotcha journalism. Like I want people to just be happy. If, like folks have been like, I put my money in this thing, and I'm getting stuff, and I'm happy with what I'm getting. Then that's cool.
Yeah, this is just a relatively large and wild section of like video game culture that I just have a blind spot for, and I am just genuinely curious. Like, what is happening over there? Like, it could be really awesome. I honestly don't know, and I wish someone would tell me because I don't have the time to find out myself.
Yeah, I completely agree. But yeah, we'll keep following up on that. A couple more super chats came in. Thank you so much, Denmark. $2 dono. Sex appeal in games. Sex appeals to me. Classic Denmark. Classic horn dog Denmark. Tommy Salty with 10 Polish zlotys. Thank you so much. Funding is hard to get because it all goes to Star Citizen. Tommy
or
Salty,
Concord or any other live service game that's filled.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't been fully paying attention to chat aside from super chats. Does anyone chat has anyone chat given money to Star Citizen, played Star Citizen? Not as like I'm not here to call you out, judge you or anything. Just like you might know more about it than we do. I feel like God, Andrew Hickamon, like one of the regulars. I think it might have been Andrew Hickamon. Yeah. You know who? We're talking about the regulars. It definitely was not Dower Dodger, but a member for 6 months who says Star Citizen is 100% a scam.
Not a believer. Dower
Not
Dodger,
a believer. Not a believer. Fat cock back with a $5 dono. Scam Citizen does not believe. Serpanza, thank you so much for the $2 dono. Man of the people, Marty, fighting for the small man. I mean, just wait, because I'm sure we'll get to a topic at some point where I'll be like, listen, people trying to emulate games. Nintendo's trying to save you. Nintendo's doing a good thing by destroying game preservation. So don't worry. You'll hate me by the end of this. It'll be fine. How do you guys feel about the Nintendo emulation thing? I get it. I get why they did it. Fucking Zelda leaked early, and everyone posted pictures of it running on that emulator. And that's just fucking get the emulator and shut up about it.
Yeah, like that.
Steal your shit and shut the fuck up.
That's an own goal. Like people need to shut the F up. Like if they had what they wanted, then they would have been fine. But what they wanted was attention, and attention kills.
Attention kills. Attention kills.
How does it?
Attention will get you effed up.
Yeah, I've always felt weird about like the Switch emulation in general because usually like I don't know, emulators become very popular after the console is kind of done with its life cycle, and Switch is during.
That's how old it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you want to get into a legal gray area, it's definitely there. And if games are leaking through the emulator, I can't. Yeah, not to be the corporate shill, but if I was a lawyer, I'd be all over that.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, to me, it is two separate things. One, I steal a lot of things, and I'm not going to talk about them. Two, Nintendo saw that Zelda was available via emulation a week before it was available via purchase, and we're like, we're going to burn the earth to the ground. Those are two separate things. So thank you so much, Serpanza. So I hope I am no longer fighting for the small man, but fighting for Nintendo. John Blee, been a member for 6 months. Thank you so much. Money laundering has the wildest names these days.
That's an absolutely real possibility. Just wide and open.
Chris Roberts riding out on yachts.
The Star Citizen Con. Citizen Con also sounds like Donald Trump's fucking Bitcoin. Buy my Citizen Con. Red Dwarf for the $5 dono. Thank you so much. First they ignored Star Citizen, then they laughed at Star Citizen, then Star Citizen won. Gandhi is rolling over in his grave. It would be wild if this game came out and it was a fucking masterpiece.
Right.
And then we're all like, maybe we do just need to let him cook. We just need to take a step back and be like, take a decade and $1 billion.
Just funnel most of that drug money into games development, and it's a win-win. Like everybody comes out on top.
Yeah. And then Sussy Guru with another €5. Thank you so much. I bought a ship like 10 years ago and tried it once and it was a stuttery mess and nothing worked. But do you still have that ship?
Years ago.
Can we
maybe your
ship
is like
for our
maybe that ship is like worth a ton now. Like if it was like, who is it? Shannon Sharp, the former football player, was like, I came this close to buying like 10,000 Bitcoin in 2005, and my advisor told me not to, and I'd be a trillionaire if I would have done that. You could have been like Shannon. Maybe your ship is worth $1 trillion. Who knows? I guess going on to another money-making venture, Balatro, the beloved card roguelike from earlier this year.
Light mobile deck card game.
Yeah, is well. Speaking of mobile, it is now. It launched on PC earlier this year as well as Switch, and it is now on mobile. On is it just Apple Arcade or is it? Can you actually buy it proper?
You buy it proper.
Okay, cool. I think I have it on Apple Arcade. But this was one of the most addicting games of earlier this year, and everyone was like, "Oh man, if this comes to mobile, this is going to be our downfall." And Nick, you loved the game earlier, and you're playing it on mobile now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
It plays very well on mobile. Unfortunately for me, who has fallen asleep with it, falling on my face, woken up and played it, and then fell back asleep. On the toilet and anywhere I get a chance to play Balatro again, and now that I have it on my phone and on a big Steam Deck or ROG or Lenovo Legion Go, it's in my hand and being played. It is just as addictive as Marvel Snap on the phone, and I'm not happy about it.
But it's a two-hander, right?
It is. You can technically play by one hand and horizontally.
It's not vertical though. You can't do
No,
one
it's not
hand
vertical.
horizontally.
You can, because you just drag the cards where you need to go. That may be also why I'm dropping the phone on my face.
Yeah, that's a long thumb, buddy.
One hand horizontally sounds insane.
Get bigger, better thumbs.
I feel like I'm stuck with the thumbs I have. I don't think
You can buy thumb extenders.
But
that's the thing.
Tell you what, though, that game. You wouldn't know that. That game is $10 on mobile though, and it was the number one app on mobile on day one. That dude is making
that's not surprising.
Bank.
That is unsurprising.
He's set for life.
Yeah, which is awesome to me. Like I am a I don't know, huge fan of just like make that money, make a game people love, and then make that fucking money off it. Which is great. Like, this is just a one-time purchase. There's no like microtransactions or anything else.
Nope, just a one-time purchase game. Nothing, no in-game store, no nothing. It's the exact same game you're playing on PC or wherever you're playing it.
Yeah.
I even got it for my mom.
Has she been playing?
They have like restrictions on what she can play on her tablet while she's in the hospital, but when she gets out, like they let her play it for a little bit, and you could just kind of see the gears clicking in the brain of the addiction starting, and I'm like, this is good.
Yeah, like what? Trying to get your mom hooked on Balatro? Let's go.
Yes, I am.
What kind of son are you?
A good one.
How safe of a space is this?
I mean, we're
relatively. I mean, it honestly depends on where you go next.
I don't get Balatro. I don't get it.
You don't get it. I thought you were.
You of all people don't get Balatro.
No,
what's wrong with you?
I've never played it myself.
I don't get it.
What?
But because it's now that it's on, because I don't want to sit at my computer and play a card roguelike thing. But like now that it's on mobile, I might give it a shot.
Do it,
Marty. How do you not get Balatro? This upsets me.
I don't get it.
Is there any like deck builder or roguelike thing that you're into?
It's Marvel Snap.
Marvel Snap is the Marvel Snap, and
that's a
literally
card
the Pokemon
game.
card game. Yeah,
that's more of a not a trading card game, but a.
Have you tried Balatro, Marty?
Yeah, I tried it on tried it earlier this year, and then I tried it again on phone. And I don't understand.
This
I don't get
See, now I'm worried I won't understand because I have not clicked with a card based roguelikes yet.
Yeah, I just don't think that's like my genre du jour.
Yeah, but like folks are like super high on this. I'm like, maybe I'll like it. Maybe this will be the one.
Yeah,
I want to try Monster Train too. I've heard that one might be the one.
Yeah,
I've been recommending that to you for years now.
You absolutely have it. I have just not.
What are you doing?
Playing Zenless Zone Zero.
Oh, you're playing Smash.
I only like.
I was just playing Smash just before that.
I only like playing cards when I'm sitting across a man and I can see the life leave his body. When I realize I just won, I just ruined his existence, and I can just see like the energy leave him. That's the only cards I like. Yeah.
Don't think of it as a card.
We put our keys on the table, like fucking Bond in Casino Royale.
He takes off his wedding ring. He's like, "You can have my wife if you win this hand."
You do that in Balatro?
Don't think of Balatro as a card. Think of it as a gooning over numbers game.
I'm gonna be honest. I gooed over a lot
That's
of things.
that's just
Numbers ain't one of
math
them.
teachers.
Also, there was already a game called Number Munchers I used to play in elementary
Oh.
school. And let me tell you, that was the prime gooning over numbers game. Did you ever play Number Munchers? That's probably more of
That
a
sounds
KC
familiar. That sounds very familiar. Let me look.
It was
that
like
up
a grid, almost like a Connect Four board. And you played like the titular number muncher, and you had to like choose your path based on like it'd be 5 times 3, and you need to find the 15, and you need to munch it.
Right. I know what this is. I have never played it though.
Oh man, that man!
I have seen it.
That man was a number gooner. Also, now that Sakurai is wrapping up his YouTube column, his YouTube essay series, Number Muncher for Smash.
What?
So we want Goku for Smash and we want Number Muncher for Smash. Those are our two.
Nobody wants Goku for Smash. Not really. People who don't like Smash want Goku for Smash.
Oh, is that true? You don't want an anime boy getting in Smash?
No, no anime boys, no anime girls.
If you had to get one anime
unless they
character
are from video games.
You wouldn't even let a character from Zone Zero in there?
No. Well, no, that's a game.
You had to think about that one.
No, not because I had to hear what you said. No, that's a game. I don't want anime proper in Smash because Smash is a celebration of games. Like I'm 100% with Sakurai on the keep it games only train.
Yeah.
Like no anime.
Yeah.
They're too weird over there.
What if it was one of the Blue Lock boys? Listen, I'm falling for the Blue Lock. I'm gonna be honest. Watching 15 episodes of Blue Lock, I understand soccer more than I have in 30.
It's so good, and they don't play regular soccer at all.
They don't. I don't think it's real. Dude, most of the time, are they like, I'm a guy, I gotta find my monster. Then they go into them.
Like this is why it's the world's most popular sport, and we just don't know.
It's great. It's so much better than Ted Lasso. Let me say. As someone who watched all of Ted Lasso, if Ted Lasso was more like Blue Lock, I would have loved it. Great. Before we move on to our main topic. Before we go on to full gooning, Dower Dodger with $100 dono. Dower Dodger, you diabolical. I'll invest my money in something actually worthwhile. No, it's not Star Citizen. Thank you so much, Dower Dodger. And then Mikhail. Thank you so much, Mikhail, with $10 Canadian. As both a lifelong enjoyer and developer. If it has none at all, I have no interest. This is our sex appeal boy. Mikhail, don't worry. We're going to be talking about sex appeal very soon, and we have strong opinions.
I think that's a perfect super chat to transition into it.
Oh, get fucked, Red Dwarf in Denmark.
Yeah, we'll come back to yours.
We'll come back to you. That's called edging. We just edged the term.
Oh no,
no, Jesus.
Very on brand.
Very on brand. No, we'll get to our main topic, which, like we were saying, ping-ponging off the news that Stellar Blade, if you guys have not seen in a recent update, is going to be getting, among other things, they wanted to fix certain like clipping issues that the game had with arms and hair and breasts, so that if a character did this, then like the cleavage would react realistically. This came in the same week that Hideo Kojima and the Death Stranding 2 team had a TGS Death Stranding 2 presentation on the Sony stage at the Tokyo Game Show over the weekend for 90 minutes. I tuned into it live. Turned out it was not translated into English. There was not a translator on stage, and it was really not about the video game at all. It was about them having a good time, showing off some jackets. And then also the jackets are several $1,000s. The jackets are so expensive.
I saw them posting all those pics of the jackets online. Those are good ass looking jackets though.
Yeah, they're by like a company that like all of their like the company's website is total garbage because their jackets are so good. They're like, we don't need to invest in like a good website. It's just like our jackets are like 2,000 euros a piece.
That Kojima drip, he knows what he's doing.
That Kojima, he does, he knows. But one of the things was that it has a photo mode, as Eric showed earlier, of where it's not just like, oh, the action pauses and you take a photo, but it's like the characters in the scene are posing like models would, and so you show like, you know, his three characters like Elle Fanning and Léa Seydoux and like posing like that, and so just got me thinking about like, you know, yeah, it always gets me thinking. No, but just about like where are we at in 2024 with like the depiction of like sex and sex appeal and sensuality and even relationships in games. And I know that's like a real big broad topic, but if you run everything from, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 to BioWare RPGs to indie games to Persona and stuff, like how do we feel about its current status in the industry? And I know, Casey, you sort of brought this one up from the beginning.
I do the Mario thing. I do want to be honest, like that
The
Stranding
Marty
photo
thing or the
mode,
Mario thing?
the
Said
Mario thing.
Mario.
Well, I guess it could be both. But the Stranding photo mode thing, like technologically, it's really impressive. It also just creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, it's no, yeah, like I get exactly what you mean. Like it's really cool that you can sort of play this mini game that just emulates being a photographer. Like you have, real models who are moving around and stuff. And you're trying to get a good picture. I wonder if he gamifies that in some way. Like if you get a certain kind of picture, if they score it a certain way, or maybe you just use it to share online because that's what they do nowadays. Like, oh, I'm a great photographer for these virtual models or whatever. But yeah, it makes me wonder, like, but to be honest, this is just Kojima. Like, Kojima puts stuff in games because he can, not necessarily because it serves a greater purpose or because like it advances, the whatever. Like he's experimenting with the medium, and I kind of get that. So let him do what he wants to do.
I mean,
I'm assuming you can also take pictures of like Norman Reedus's and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah.
original game had, where if you held the camera at Norman Reedus too long, he would bat you away. Yeah, try to aim at his crotch. He'd punch you in the face.
Oh yeah, and this had everything from like the pinup girls and
Right.
lockers in Metal Gear Solid 2 that you could take pictures of, and Otacon would talk to you. To you could take pictures of the beauties and beasts from Metal Gear Solid 4 at certain points, and they would almost like pose while taking a picture, even though they were scary monsters. So yeah, nothing new for Kojima. And then the same like Stellar Blade, I played a little bit of the demo and it just wasn't for me, but by all accounts, people thought it was like a pretty serviceable action.
Yeah, okay,
narrative
spectacle
game.
fighter.
Yeah,
played
that I think gained a lot of its conversation around it because of its overt sexuality in a way that was weaponized by certain folks. But
it's
that
hard
is a
to
game
say.
that's like leaning into, it knows its audience and it knows what it does well. So even like Nier, which definitely sexualizes its characters, it does a similar thing and is partnering with Nier.
Yes, because like Yoko Taro says, they'll do anything for money. But I do want to interrogate that whole thing where it seemed like the sexualization in Stellar Blade was weaponized per se, and that maybe that helped its success or whatnot. I'm not sure if that's true because we've had several other instances of like that same sort of sect of the internet doing the opposite. Like they say, we're not going to do this. We're not going to support this because of it not being sexualized or whatever reason they have. And then it still is fine. Like, I feel like it may have prospered despite that because the larger audience might have just been like, oh, this is an okay game with a cute character on the cover. And like, it kind of never went further than that.
It's also like a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, and that's the biggest.
A lot of people with PlayStation,
base.
PS5s are like, oh, a game.
Yeah. So like, I mean, whether that's the case or not, I don't really know. But I do think, as I want to say, it is a boon, I believe, for a game to look good. Like, however, in whatever fashion that takes. Like, if it's sexiness, like that's how you make it look good, that's one way. If it's really cute, like Pokemon, that's another way, right? If it's like really stylish, like it has like an amazing art style, that's another. Like, just it needs to stand out. Like, that's the thing that really separates everything nowadays from other stuff. And as everybody on this planet knows, sex sells. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that's going to be the path you choose to make yourself stand out, just, be responsible with it. Like, I love it when a game goes, like, they make a decision and they say, all right, I'm going to have like really cute models or characters or whatever, but it's for everybody. Like, I didn't really like, what was that game? Something Arc. It was like the Korean MMO.
There's a lot of those, Casey.
Yeah, I played it like for like 40 hours back on Escapist, and we never released the review. Do you remember that?
Lost Ark.
Lost Ark.
Ironically,
yeah, like I was so
Lost Ark.
Right. I was so like taken by that game's like character creator or just options because of how gorgeous all the characters were, male and female. Like, everyone was just supermodel gorgeous that I wanted to write a whole thing about it. But like, at the end, like when I started writing the thing, I'm like, no, people are just gonna think I'm horny for all the characters. Like they're not gonna get the nuance of like why I think this is interesting. So I kind of like trashed that as well. But like I think that matters. Like folks won't admit it oftentimes. But like if you just like the look of a character, whether it's male or female or like a creature, like I do think that has an effect that will pull you towards it. So like I'm not surprised that like sex can be used in this way in particular to like get games with it.
I guess for me, like I just know that it's a video game, so like it doesn't do anything. Like I'm much more interested in the world and story and gameplay than characters. Because like if there's a character creator game, I probably spend like 10 minutes on it at most, and then I just get into the game because I just.
What do you make your characters look like you? Do you have like a thing like, oh, I want to make my characters look like blank, or do you just go kind of crazy with them?
Yeah, I typically just do bearded dude. Like I just do whatever. Like I'll either randomize it and just do whatever, or I just do a very basic looking thing so that it doesn't like distract me from the actual game itself.
Sure.
Because I'm just not a huge role player, but like with Stellar Blade, like going back to how that was weaponized a bit, like that was all about censorship, and because they changed the designs of a few skins. And so I mean, like that whole controversy was just a bunch of fucking nonsense, no matter which way you look at it. But I'm with Casey. Like if you're gonna make your game have a sex appeal, like lean into it and just own it. I think some games try to like straddle that line a little bit. I would say Bayonetta is one of those games that straddles that line of like. Obviously, it's on Nintendo, so they can only do so much. But
I mean, it didn't start that way.
Yeah, I guess Bayonetta 2 or 3
weren't up though.
Yeah, first game had a lot more than the second and third one did.
I mean, they put like when it first got ported to Nintendo, they added a bunch of Nintendo themed costumes, and like they just had her in like a sexy Link outfit, a sexy Star Fox outfit. So like Nintendo kind of let them do what they wanted. It felt like.
Yeah.
Sexy Link and sexy Fox McCloud.
Actually, I didn't even see those outfits.
I'll send them to you. I gotta save my phone. I'll send them to you. It's interesting because I think characters looking good is a thing that is A, subjective, but B, like that runs an entire gamut. Like when we were talking about Concord, like one of the things about Concord when it came out and people didn't gravitate towards its characters in the same way they did Overwatch is like its characters weren't good, just weren't memorable, right? It wasn't like you get a silhouette where like, oh, that looks cool. And like I feel like for me, like a silhouette, whether sexualized or non-sexualized, is a thing that I remember from a character. Like, and that's going back to like you could see the silhouette of a Smash character or like the fucking silhouette of a Who's That Pokemon. And you can think to that. And then when you go to Overwatch, you have that same thing. And obviously some of the characters, this is the one character who's become like a big old like porno magnet in Overwatch. People do like a bunch of
Tracer.
There's one character.
Tracer's Tracer's the one that I always.
Well, so like that, which is a character that isn't like hypersexualized like in the game, but has like been kind of co-opted in like the community or some other community has co-opted it. And then the same thing, like when I talk about silhouettes, like I think of like the art direction of Magura-san on the Persona games is like so incredible. And I think especially Persona 3 on into Catherine and now into Metaphor ReFantazio, the characters just as silhouettes, like the way they stand, the way they are shaped, and this is not even a sexual thing, it's just like that is what stands out to me. And that is the thing where I'm like, ooh, I want to play as that character or play alongside that character throughout this game because they've created like geometry that I'm interested in, which I think works really well. And then obviously you can lean into the sexuality, which Persona definitely does with games like Catherine, either overtly or with across Persona 5.
Yeah, someone in chat said Sebastian. Yeah, and I like what Sebastian Kirok Mikulik said. There are many ways to make an appealing character. Sexy is just the easy mode. And I think that is kind of the case, or what we're hitting on is like what's appealing is that the character has style or a look that is attractive, like in the broad sense. But like the easiest way to probably gather the largest group to that character is just sex appeal, like generic titillation, right?
Yeah.
Like cleavage, butts, groin outlines. I don't know.
The big three. Cleavage, butts, and groins.
But so like, but does that feel cheap now? Like, is that what the pushback is? Like the folks who kind of can see the difference, like, oh, the aesthetic is really, really good here, but this is cheap aesthetic. Like, this is just trying to get me like it's taking like an easy route to something that you know is valuable. Like, is that why there's like kind of a pushback to like maybe some of the more hardcore, like higher brow gamers who don't care as much about like
I don't know anything about the Stellar Blade character. Like, is she a good character? Like, I know I've played the shit out of Nier, so I know like 2B and everyone. Like, I know that they are amazing characters and that their sexuality is actually used in an interesting way. That A, can be used for titillation, but also B, is used to say something by Yoko Taro and the team. Is that the case in
No, Stellar.
I honestly couldn't tell you, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, I made it through most of Stellar Blade, but I just ended up putting it down because the environments are so boring.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's the game that was like desert personified, and it just like every level is another desert. I'm like, why? It's just so boring and bland.
Yeah.
And yeah, her character, like, I don't know, there's not much story there, and like it kind of reminds me of like I really love the Final Fantasy remake games, but especially in the second game, they really kind of, I don't know, I felt like they got a little weird with Tifa and Aerith. Like, a lot of scenes were like would start, you know, down around their crotch and ass, and then come up and like real slow, and the guys are just straight on. And
Tifa, Tifa's a super interesting character to look at from the late 90s to now, because like in the late 90s, characters were kind of simplified. Like, the character designs were like very simplified, but now like Tifa is not a sexualized character. I say this as but like, character by and large, aside from the beach interlude, is not sexualized a ton in 7 remake and rebirth. Yet the visual design is obviously super sexualized, and so there's that, like, I don't know, the push and pull, or is there even a push and pull? Like, can you just look past? I feel like if someone consumes a lot of anime, it's pretty easy to look past what a character
you sort of get
wearing. You get numb to it.
Yes, numb is the right word, because like the thing you just mentioned, Nick, about like the focus on like the bodies and the angles and whatnot.
Anime.
Yes, all the time in anime, and like I will just gloss over the fact, like I'll stop picking up on the fact that like this shot started from the butt up.
Yeah,
because like I'm there for like the story and everything else, but like it's something that I've accepted, and maybe that's bad, but I don't know. Like, is it also a style, and is there merit there? Like, does that work for the people who are into that? Does that keep them invested long enough to get to like the good bits of the story? And if that's the case, should you apply that the other way around? Like, give the other side that sort of treatment. Like, I'm always in favor of, like, if you're gonna sexualize one half, then sexualize the other. Like, make everything that needs to be sexy if you're gonna go that route. Like, just make it equal opportunity.
Well, for me, it felt tonally off with what Final Fantasy Remake was going for.
Gotcha.
It's a very serious, very sad story for a lot of it, even though there are, like, you know, fun moments and all that, and like you go on the dates with Tifa or Aerith or whatever you want. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, when you do that kind of camera work for like that, it feels like it cheapens it to me.
I'm really excited for the third part, because there is a scene in the game where it is very clear that the ship is hovering in the air, and Cloud and Tifa have an emotional moment on the ground, and then they fuck, and then all the other characters are just kind of watching. And I'm like, get you out of. Let's see you get tie your way out of this one. Let's see you untie this knot. Yeah, that's Eric. That's exactly the scene.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for this scene.
But that's
thank you so much, Eric.
But that led me to my bigger point when we were discussing bringing up this topic is, like, I just wish games, like, just in general did like romance better. Like, I can't think of many games that have like really well written romances.
So I'm not a big BioWare obviously, or a Witcher person. Do those games have good well written romances?
I would say The Witcher 3 does have pretty good romance written into it with the characters that like get you to actually care about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like in Mass Effect, which I've played a ton of, I don't know if I would say they have good romances. I do like the relationships that they let you build over time. But like in terms of like these two characters like each other, these two characters love each other, I'm not so sure. Like those feel maybe a little more hollow.
Yeah.
I
Especially
mean,
since you can, like,
they're
bounce around
based
real easy.
on they're just based on decisions you make, you know, so you know what you're doing the entire
No,
time.
but even the way they I know that they're based on like decisions you make,
Yeah,
but like they try to justify them in like the cutscenes that follow, right? Like you'll get a scene with Jack, the
Right.
the psychic punk rocker or whatever, and you'll get a scene with like your assistant at the helm or whatever. But like none of those, even if you stuck with just that one person in game, because you can be a straight up hoe and just talk to everybody all willy nilly. But if you just stick with one and you're really trying to be an honest man, I don't think that even then it feels like that's like building to something that like matters between the two. It still feels kind of like a binary choice. Whereas like the friendships and stuff seem way more meaningful.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said it's kind of hard to write. I think it's hard to write a good romance that's based on player choice, where The Witcher, The Witcher has player choice in like who you decide to go with, but it's also like fully fleshed out storylines that you either choose to follow or don't. Where Mass Effect is very binary, you know, do this choice or this dialogue option.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think they were well written. So like, I just can't think of like too many games off the top of my head that I would consider like have
well. What was that one about the two, like the couple who like run around a empty planet? Haven.
Yeah,
so that one
games,
was good actually. Yeah,
indie games unsurprisingly are able to do this with more nuance. Stuff like Florence and One Night Stand and Unpacked that can handle like those are less like overtly sexual and more like dealing with actual relationships.
Yeah, like interpersonal
connection. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with the BioWare games that God, this might have been Yahtzee or it might have been someone else. So if this was Yahtzee, well done Yahtzee. If it was someone else, well done that other person. But bringing up that the mechanics of relationship in games become kindness coins, where it's I did a good thing for you, so I got a kindness coin, and then with 10 kindness coins I can sleep with you, which is ultimately like a pretty bad way to like it's a bad lesson to impart onto people. Because no one's thought of how to do
relationship.
Yeah, very transactional.
But here's the thing: those exist in like the real world.
Oh yeah,
so like
still not good.
And I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but like the fact that it can be represented in that way in a game doesn't necessarily make it like false. It just makes it a bad representation, right?
Yeah.
Like same thing with like say the hot coffee mini game in San Andreas. Like to gamify sex in that way feels like kind of lifeless, but you can totally find people in real life who do that. They gamify sex, like they want high numbers. They treat it like, you know, a competition between their bros, whatever. Like that happens.
Yeah. It's.
Has there ever been a good video game sex scene?
I like some of the intimate moments between Ellie and Dina in The Last of Us Part 2. Spoilers for The Last of Us.
I've not seen that, so can't comment.
Ellie bones down. Spoilers. I think I said there's a great sex scene in Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus.
Oh yeah,
on a train between BJ and Anya.
Yeah,
what her name is. And that's it. We reached the top.
You know what?
Anyone naming a David Cage game right now needs to go to jail.
I knew as soon as you said that, I was thinking Heavy Rain. Like somebody's gonna say it. It's not gonna be me. I'll let the chat step on that landmine.
On the indie front, I love that it's not like intercourse, but Firewatch. If anyone's ever played Firewatch, has the
sex scene in that?
I don't want to spoil it. It's about
Oh yeah.
you build a relationship with a character who's in like a neighboring fire tower, who is far away, like enough that you can kind of see their light on the horizon, and you never meet the character, but you speak to the character, and the writing and the dialogue is so, and the performances are so good in the game. And there's a one night like the two characters get drunk and kind of start flirting with each other, and it's probably the best depiction of like drunk flirting escalating into something else I've maybe ever seen in art. Like it is just so spot on. And again, part of it's the writing, part of it's the delivery, part of it's when it comes in the story. But yeah, that's good in Firewatch. Doki Doki Literature Club is a good relationships. I mean that doesn't end well for anyone. Oh my god, Doki.
Yeah, I think just in general, like, yeah, I don't know, like the sex appeal on games like either caters to the audience that just really, for lack of a better word, goons over physics and jiggle physics and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Then there's the audience that really likes their RPG decisions, where they get to, pick their waifu, pick their character in Baldur's Gate 3, and just like, that's the person I want to be in a relationship in this game. And then there's just people like me that just don't really. It's a video game, so I just don't like, unless it's a very well written romantic relationship. I would consider Haven one of those games. Yes, Firewatch 2. I also think is really good at that. Like Baldur's Gate 3 has moments of that, but it still feels too gamified for me, I guess. I don't know. I guess Baldur's Gate 3 like straddles that line of like almost being really good, where like I think the character that I bonded with most in the game was like Shadowheart, and like it's well written as it goes, but it also has that, I guess, token metaphor that you brought up, Marty, where like I know this action is going to lead to this next action, and like this, if you're role playing as my character, ready for that? I guess I don't have a say in the matter anymore.
Yeah.
Because either that or I have to skip that dialogue option.
Yeah.
And it's actually almost weirder in like Baldur's Gate or Dragon's Age or any of those games, because if you don't do that romantic option, then the other character's usually offended.
Yeah, it's like it's like a black and white sort of thing. It can't be.
I mean, if someone ever is like, I really like you in real life, and you're like, I do not feel the same way, it's possible your relationship's not going to be the same.
That's true. Or maybe I just need to go like kill a thing or something before I get to the story.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm really into guys who kill things, so
Yeah, can you be one of them?
Can you like kill like 10 rats in the basement, and then maybe you can talk?
Also, the lighting in this room, because I don't have my camera light, looks like I'm like just beat red during this whole discussion.
Yeah, sure. It's the lighting.
Yeah,
that's what's doing it.
I'm not embarrassed at all.
It's not the goon glow. Yeah, that's
the goon afterglow.
You can, talking. The Metaphor ReFantazio demo is out, so you can play the first 5 to 7 hours of the game or so, and from that, anyone who's played that can kind of see that the game is. I wouldn't say the Persona games are hypersexualized, but like that's a part of the character design and a part of the costumes and a part of like, oh, you're playing a high schooler who's hanging out with other high schoolers and sometimes hanging out with people that are older than high schoolers. That makes everything a little wonky, but relationships like that and getting to a point where you can become intimate like is a thing in those games. From what we see in the first 7 hours of Metaphor ReFantazio, that's not a thing there. That is not that like you do build up relationships, but it is like, oh, I'm building up a ally in battle. Like I'm building up a comrade. I'm not building up someone that I can hope to like get a little hanky panky with. So yeah, whether that's something, and it's funny because again, this is the core team of Catherine, which was the game that was all about the hanky panky in smart and interesting ways. Like that was the first like one of the rare games I've ever played where it's like, oh no, we got pregnant. What do we do with this kid? Like, do we need to have the talk? Like that's games don't usually do that. Which is interesting.
Miss Harmony in our chat obviously brought up that we don't have a woman on this particular podcast to discuss this issue, but I do wonder how like women in general feel about like the Stellar Blade thing, because like I do, like you do see on social media like people talk about like those kind of physics and stuff, and like just looks weird. It doesn't even look natural. And I would say like, without sounding too weird, like the Stellar Blade stuff that they showed off today, like the physics actually looks correct for body anatomy. So
Yeah, you sound weird.
I do sound weird. I don't know how you say that without sounding weird.
No, I mean,
kidding.
when we first brought this up in like an earlier meeting, like I likened it to how Red Dead spent all that time modeling like the testicles on the horses that they like shrink when it gets cold.
Like a thing you could brag about, but 0.001% of people.
Yeah, it's like if you're like the obsession with trying to get this exactly right seems like maybe misplaced. Like maybe put that energy into something else. But I mean, go off if that's your passion, right? Like I guess I can't fault them for like achieving the thing they achieved. And there's a very particular subset who's into that. Like the people who are probably still playing Stellar Blade right now, that is who that's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just still staring at Eric's B-roll. I don't know what's going on. It looks like cataract surgery.
Very pixelated Stellar Blade.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was my eyes.
It might be.
Going over a couple super chats before we move on to the rest of the stuff we've been playing. Red Dwarf with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Red Dwarf. What gets released first, Beyond Good and Evil 2 or Star Citizen? Casey is not allowed to engage in this.
Squadron 42 before either of those.
That was neither of
That's
the two
not the question.
options. Neither of the two options.
You know what? I'm gonna say Star Citizen before Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I'm gonna say Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Just to upset Jay.
All right, write it, guys. Mark their answers down, and one of these men will win, and one of these men will lose.
Unless neither of the games ever come out.
Eric's got the real answer though. Star Citizen will release before Silk Song. So,
wow.
He really wanted to take a pot shot at somebody.
Wow. And then Denmark with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Speaking of addiction, I got my girlfriend Animal Crossing. I've said goodbye to my Switch already. It won't last forever.
Just known that. It will last forever.
It won't last forever.
Animal Crossing, it lasts forever.
It doesn't last forever. I got that out of my system relatively quickly.
She's already written her name on the inside of that Switch, like Andy writes his name on Woody's boot.
On Woody's clothing. It'll be yours away for a long time. It will not be yours for quite a while. You'll get it back eventually. They'll realize, your girlfriend will realize, you know what? There's more to life than turnips, and bells.
Yeah, she'll go back to all the other stuff she did before video games.
I have a copy of Animal Crossing. I've just never opened it. Probably good for my health.
Yeah, that game just doesn't appeal to me whatsoever.
You guys, that's because you guys never lived through a pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know where I was during
the rest of us who lived through a pandemic. No, Animal Crossing was really helpful.
There almost a seizure in the pandemic.
I did try that mobile one, the Pocket Camp thing, and I was like, yeah, this is boring.
I don't count.
My fiance got addicted to that.
Oh,
the Pocket Camp one.
That's ridiculous. Spend a bunch of money.
And then forgot about it. Like I had to remind her that was a thing she liked a bunch. She was like, no, I didn't.
Did you ever show her like Animal Crossing? Like real Animal Crossing?
No, because I don't want to buy real Animal Crossing.
Well, look, it's Halloween. It's
Halloween. Like $60 game still.
Yeah,
definitely
never
going
down
in price. Definitely not going down in price. Near Edge. Close to the edge.
Very fun.
Dono, thank you so much. I stand with Tetsuya Nomura on this one as a dangerous way to start a statement. Near Edge. Attractive characters should be the default. Conventionally attractive means that most people find them attractive. I mean, I love
Are those words he said?
But
I imagine that's what I feel like that's Tetsuya Nomura's design philosophy. I didn't check it, but sounds about right, given the characters. Oh, look at Lulu.
But also
we know Eric's a Lulu man over there. Oh, machi, Eric. We're learning a lot about you.
So subjective, though.
Attractiveness is, yeah, agreed.
Like some people like whatever's going on in an orc massage. Some people like whatever's going on in
people like
Stellar Blade.
The orcs. Yeah, Tetsuya Nomura there is conventionally attractive right there. Him and his little boy Sora.
Yo, he does look a lot like Sora in that picture. Like they kind of favor each other.
Shouts to a deep V.
Just Hoops showed up and went, "Oh God!"
That is a very deep V.
Just Hoops, look at the deep V. Oh, he doesn't have the V anymore. Oh, hanging out with Kojima. Look at a couple of pals cutting it up.
My best friend.
Two goons hanging out.
Invite me to his Death Stranding presentation.
Two goons hanging out. And then Denmark with another $5 dono. Thank you so much, Denmark. I think there's a difference between a game character being sexy like Solid Snake and the kind of character that says I was designed one-handed. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
People feel like Solid Snake is sexy. I know there's memes about like him having cake, but
Yeah,
like,
grandpa energy.
Is he thought of as like sexy? Like, oh, this is like a sexy dude.
I wouldn't actually use the word sexy. I think he's attractive. I would never say the word sexy because Solid Snake, well, I guess that's Big Boss. That's his dad. Only his dad bones down. Solid Snake never seems like someone. I guess like him and Meryl ride off into like the Alaskan sunset on
Yeah.
their snowblower or whatever. But like, he's not boning anyone in 2. He's definitely not in 4. God knows. In 4, he's just like, I am dying. I crawled through a microwave. Things are bad in my life.
I was going to say he got real cooked.
But I mean, the one time you see like Snake really becoming intimate is Naked Snake in Metal Gear Solid 3, and that moment of intimacy is used against him ultimately because Ava leaves him and steals his shit. So that's it reminds me a lot of Casino Royale. Oh, another thing Kojima predicted in Casino Royale, where Bond finally like becomes legitimately emotionally intimate with Vesper Lind, and then she uses him and ultimately dies. He's like, I'm never gonna fall in love again. So
they got that from Kojima. Nice.
Look at that. Fucking James Bond watches one Kojima game and is like, wait a minute, you stole everything from James Bond for this game. How is this working?
Scatterbrain Jane.
Time paradox. Scatterbrain Jane just warmed up. It's fine. Miss Harmony with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. This topic is, well, second wind needs more women. Agreed. Stay tuned. Agreed and stay tuned.
Me?
Yeah. 2 comments. James Morgan with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Seems like sexualization is only an issue if only straight men are appealed to. Like Casey said, equal opportunity horniness. I definitely agree. Equal opportunity horniness.
If you're gonna do it for everybody. It just makes sense.
I don't even know if you have to do it for everybody. If just lean into what you want to do with who you're targeting.
Well, but then that's where you get the imbalance, right? Because there are people who have the opportunity to do what they want to do, whereas there are a lot of others who don't. Or like if they do get the opportunity, they would not be best served by leaning into it in the same way.
Well, how do you balance Stellar Blade when you only get one protagonist and it's?
I don't think they mean a single. You don't have like one person doesn't have to make something that appeals to every single person, but it's like the industry as a whole needs to service the wants and desires.
And
those spectrum.
And that's when games get called woke.
No, but that's stupid. Like, fuck those
no, it is.
but like even in Stellar Blade, right? Where like, yes, there's a singular focus here where there's a lot of titillation around the main character, right? And like, yeah, they don't need to necessarily insert a super hot like K-pop star, like a male K-pop star to compensate, but they do have male characters in the game. Like, where's the scene where like he's just real vulnerable? Like he's holding a towel over his junk and the girl walked in the room and they have like the little cutesy moment of, oh, is there something here? You know, like just give them a little bit.
Yeah.
The watching Blue Lock, which I love. Every soccer player is attractive. Also, I think you're just super attractive if you play soccer. I think it's just like you run so default. Much that you outrun the ugly. You just become attractive. There is one woman in the show, and she shows up like once every 5 episodes, and every time she shows up, it's like a jump scare. I'm like, get out of here! You don't belong to Blue Lock. This is a show about boys. Let me get back to the onset.
Also, the guy she talks to is just really mean to her every time. He's like,
he also wants her, and he loves ego. Loves ego. He loves the ego.
You know which? You know which game did sex appeal the very best? 12 minutes.
Nick, get out of here. turn off your PC and walk out of your room.
Your room's slowly becoming darker. That's fine. As you become an evil Nick.
Yes, I'm getting more red as the light goes down.
Jombly, thank you so much for the big old dono. Appreciate you, Jombly. Y'all are a bunch of weirdos. I'm out to watch freaky Demi Moore movie meant for wholesome individuals. Jombly is going to see The Substance, starring Demi Moore. Which, if you want a movie that Johnny knows what it is because we talked about it on Tuesday on the rewind. Highly recommend if anyone wants to see a movie that deals with the idea of attractiveness and sexuality and body horror in a great way. Go see The Substance.
Hmm.
Let me tell you, Dennis Quaid eating shrimp. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to see a little bit of Dennis Quaid eating shrimp, real close up with a fisheye lens, looking ugly as hell, like Spike Williams shot it.
Going
You're
back to like
not selling me on this movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Going back to the very start of our conversation about how like Gen Z is not wanting as much sexualization in their media. Sure, wonder what they think about The Boys.
Is The Boys doesn't do like sexualization? They do like shock. What was it? What do you call that?
Yeah. It's like drink my breast milk, or like I'm gonna blow up your dick or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna masturbate off of a building, or
Yeah.
like it's all like shock. It's like over exaggerated versions of sexual adjacent things. But like, do any characters in that show actually have like
they never show Huey or Starlight like having an intimate moment, do they?
Or even like Butcher and his wife
did in this season. Yeah.
Oh,
well, Butcher's wife is dead. I hope he's not doing anything.
She didn't start that way.
No one starts
dead. They had flashbacks.
Everyone becomes dead eventually. We don't start dead, Casey.
All right, we know what Casey's all into that necrophilia.
We become dead eventually. And then Saucy Guru with a €5 dono. Thank you so much. Can a relationship in a game, unless it is fully scripted from the beginning, ever be anything but transactional? Good point.
And yes, Jason's pointing out to me that's not how that sex scene went in The Boys with Starlight. Yes, I know. I have watched.
It sounds like you didn't understand, though, did you?
I did understand. It was fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. Can they only be transactional? That's a good point. Like, is that what interaction is?
In games?
Yeah, that was the question that was asked.
Yeah, I'm trying to phrase it. I mean, it's hard to say because like I guess we would just need to see the game that doesn't do that. But like,
I think Haven's that game. I don't think Haven does it transactionally.
But they're saying that's the exception because like it's
is the
beginning to end, like written to not be transactional, right? Like as opposed to like options. But like I don't know why I guess those have to be two separate things. Like they're both depicting relationships. Like a relationship in a game that is written from top to bottom is a depiction of a good relationship. So like games get a point for that in my mind.
Yeah.
Like all games get a point for being able to depict, like, because the possibility exists that you can depict a good relationship in games. Just more games need to do it that way, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the difference is like what you do can impact it versus like The Last of Us 2, where that's the relationship they wrote. Like you can't, you can't make or break your relationship with Dina. Depending on
one way is a story. It's just written like a story, and the other is an actual game mechanic.
Sure.
And I don't think you can make a non-transactional game mechanic for something like that when the player has input in what they want to do.
Well, how does this sound, right? Let's say the entire game is about a single relationship, and I've not played Haven, so stop me if this is exactly what Haven is doing. But from at the end of this game, you may, stay with this person you're in a relationship with, or you guys may drift apart. And whether that happens or not is based on several decisions and choices that you make over the course of the game. Like your partner's doing stuff, it has stuff to do. You're doing stuff, has to do. Like you're balancing things, they're balancing things. The decisions you make in order to maintain that relationship versus get whatever else you need to get done will affect that ending goal. With that, even though that it's playing with the same mechanics of like you have to make choices and like you can do something wrong or you can do something right. But it's just the one character and like they're like, does that feel more whatnot, or does that still count as transactional because it wasn't just a story that was kind of out of your hands?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I'd consider that transactional because in Mass Effect or whatever, like those are like predetermined choices that you have to make at specific points.
Mm-hmm.
That actually be an interesting topic for dev heads to explore. Of like, how would you build a relationship that just
it'd be great for them to have like someone who's making a game like that on.
Yeah, it's just completely impacted by your mechanical actions in the game rather than choices.
Yeah.
So like if you are playing Haven and there's got to be like The Sims kind of does that, I guess. Like if you don't give enough attention to your relationship or whatever, the meter goes down, and so that they might end up getting bored and leaving.
I mean, that was Fable, right? When you would just marry any NPC, you have to like give them gifts and stop by the house or whatever.
Maybe enough apples we can get married.
Send them money.
Yeah.
It's a interesting set of mechanics. I don't feel like any game is like really explored fully yet. Get on it, Yahtzee. You heard it
Definitely
first.
not the AAA space. I think a lot of visual novels and stuff like that have done it. But
I mean,
yeah,
the AAA space just horribly handles any type of romance.
Agreed. El Cheshire
Actually,
with a dono.
I would say one of the best depictions of romance, I guess, is the bromance between Dom and Marcus in Gears of War. Like that's a really well written, acted out relationship between.
Yeah, that's a good
guys.
Relationship story. Yes.
Yeah. It's not romantic, but yeah.
I heard that.
I love that.
I heard they needed to keep warm during a cold razor hail night. El Cheshire, thank you so much for a dono. Eric, if you may, I'll use this money to get Skullgirl's squiggly butt snapback in the corner space. Shout out to Alex Ahad, big art influence. El Cheshire, what have you done?
When he said squiggly butt, that's not what I imagined.
But it is.
But it's Squiggly's butt. So now I get it. Thank you.
Beautiful. That's great. What time to be alive. I hate it all. Miss Harmony with $2 dono. You are all hitting relevant points. Women, I'm assuming you say would help, but you just said women would hell. I don't think it's...
Wow. You have made your point.
I don't think it's helpful, but stay tuned. And then
no, I mean, I'm sorry, just to jump in right there. Like, there are women in the chat, so definitely throw your input.
Yes,
if
please.
You have any, because we don't have one sitting on the panel with us. So please,
and please, for the love of God, no, we do not try to even pretend that we speak for women.
Yes, absolutely.
I could barely. I think
we've spoken completely from our perspective in this podcast.
I could barely speak for myself. And Near Edge with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Near Edge. I think we have more than parity with hot characters in video games. Male characters are almost always designed to be hot. And that's just normal.
I want to push back on that because this is a thing that comes up often when when a lot of folks try to defend the imbalance in terms of like the sexualization of women versus men. A lot of times, yes, you'll look at like a guy who's kind of built like super muscular and like attractive face and whatnot in a video game, but that is still designed for men. Like that's a role model that men idolize and want to be like, and not necessarily the sort of thing that many women just find conventionally attractive or like will be attracted to. Like their level of attraction, from what I have heard about this particular situation, because again, I'm not trying to speak for women, like it comes from more, like they need more context rather than just the image of the character, right? Like they need to know if that character is a good person or if they have certain qualities or whatnot to like push them into that sort of attractive state. So it's not like for some, absolutely, but like the greater majority, it just doesn't work the same where it's like, boom, that character is instantly hot. And like that does it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, Mistake of the Garden followed it up with games are no different than general society, still a very male-dominated culture with male gaze. And yeah, and again, that's not like saying that and I completely agree with that. And that's, I know Snake isn't like bemoaning those representations, but at the same time, it's like, well, it doesn't feel authentic to say, oh, there's a balance, because there's not a balance.
Right. Yeah. And first and foremost, we just need to recognize that before we do anything else. Like, let's not pretend that it's the same thing on both sides. There's an imbalance, and then we move from there.
Let's just say the only attractive thing is a bear with a backpack with a bird in it, and it's called Banjo. And why aren't we making more games with Banjo? Because we all think Banjo's attractive.
You think Banjo is fucking that bird?
I've thought about it. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I've thought about it a few occasions, and I don't know the logistics, but I feel like there's something there. Also, shout out to Eric pulling up Shirtless Shulk because
there's Shulk and Sephiroth have shirtless options, and Zero Suit Samus has like Zero Suit, like she has like a midriff exposed in her options. So like that's 2 versus the 1.
Yeah. Although Mario was
neat.
almost taken in Mario Odyssey. Finally, we got to see Mario's nips in Mario Odyssey. So,
Yeah, we've been waiting.
thank you, Miyamoto-san. What you been playing? What you been eating? I've only been playing one thing. I'm gonna start off with my one thing, and it's gonna be The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, which I think is a delightful video game. I finally got to the back half of it, assuming what I think is the back half because I'm over half the hearts. But I think it does a wonderful job of blending the aesthetics and fun and exploration of a top-down 2D Zelda, a la Link's Awakening or Link Between Worlds, with sort of the sense of choice and freedom and experimentation and puzzle solving that you get from the modern open era Zeldas, whether it's Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm having a really good time going through not only just the dungeons, which are a delight to have back, like actual dungeons, but just wandering around the world and solving little puzzles and side quests and being like, oh, there's a row of trees separating these two areas. And in most Zelda games, you're like, I have to find a way around the trees. But in this, you're like, if I stack a bunch of fucking beds, I can climb over these trees, and you can. And this game is so funny to me because I solve 99% of my problems by stacking beds or by throwing a bunch of snakes. Like, I keep getting stronger and stronger abilities because this whole game is about you don't have attacks. All you could do is like summon things. You're like a Pokemon trainer, and the weaker things only cost 1 bit, whereas a strong thing might cost 4 bits. And so if you have a 4-bit meter, you can summon 1 strong thing or 4 weak things. And every situation, I'm just like, how am I going to solve this? I'm like, gotcha. And I just throw a bunch of snakes on the ground. And the snakes attack things for me, and it's so fun.
Like,
I think it is so fun that my Zelda is just like a fucking hellion.
Like that is very funny, but I worried, like, does that not cheapen like the idea that like you kind of need to use all of this stuff to like figure out the world and interact with the world?
You should. I think there is the game. The game wants you to use things more, but I'm just like, no, I'm good. I need the worst bed, and I need a bunch of snakes, and I will get through. I will beat this game using a series of terrible beds and a ton of snakes.
I really like that. Like I didn't know. I mean, I haven't really paid much attention to this game in particular, but that was like the most annoying part for me for Link's Awakening. Obviously, based on a very old game,
Yeah.
but how rigid it is. And so that style of game, but without the rigidity.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, very, very open-ended, very much to the point where it's like, oh, your goal is to beat these 3 dungeons. Do them in whatever order you want. Here they are. It's very cool.
I may actually try this one then.
Yeah, I'm having a very good time with it.
It'll be unopened for a year.
There you go.
So
you'll get to it after you get to Animal Crossing.
Not to spoil anything, but this being Zelda's like very first official leading role, like does she really like get to shine, or do they interject Link here and there?
Here and there, but like very here and there. Like, well, I don't know what that means, but like like sporadically. Like he shows up in the beginning. Like you play as we streamed the opening 2 hours. You play as him in the opening of the game, and then actual Link has only shown up once since then for me, extremely briefly. So he shows up as much as Zelda does in a traditional Zelda game, which is not very often.
The ether and
yeah. So this is very much you feel like you were playing Zelda. You talk to people when they realize it's you, like they talk a little bit different to you, and it's I'm liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the main thing, aside from stuff I can't talk about that I've been playing. What about you guys?
I've been playing Zelda Zone Zero, clearly, but I'm not going to talk about that. I did get to finally jump into Parking Garage Rally Circuit, which dropped like 2 weeks ago. Like it was one of the favorite things that came out of Steam Next Fest when we did our last kind of compilation video. I put 2 hours into it for Hot Monday Energy, and like I was locked in. Like it's such a tightly tuned arcade racer, and it's all time trials. So I was basically I was racing the course ghosts over and over again. And like time trials require ghosts in order to like really shine. And even though I didn't jump into the multiplayer half, which does record like multiplayer ghosts from across the world or whatever, so you can like race like I believe like 50 to 100 ghosts at once, which is like kind of chaotic. the course ghosts themselves do a really, really good job, especially early on, of just tutorializing how you play the game. Like you can, like your main things are essentially power sliding around corners, and that is how you get boost to go anywhere. Like if you're just hitting the accelerator, you actually go criminally slow. So like they steer you away from driving like that. But there's this really fun nuance to the fact that like, yeah, all you can do is drift and then boost out of the drift. But half the time you need to be able to brake, because like if you go too fast around a corner or a ramp or whatever, like you can just launch yourself straight out of the goddamn parking garage, like out into the into like the snowfields or the abyss or whatever. So like it's this really fun sequence of like learning the course, learning the mechanics of and how to apply them to that course, and then basically execution, which is the same sort of like it's the same energy that like I get like really hooked on like Souls like games or whatever, right? Like or like a really good boss fight where it's like I can see the code now. I just need to get to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it really just fuels that energy of just start over. So like I'm probably gonna finish everything I can in it when I get a free chance. Like I played like half. I think there's 8 courses, and there are like 3 vehicles that you can do those courses with, and the vehicles do feel different. And I was able to do like maybe all of the light stuff, and then like with the heavy car, I did like half, I think.
Nice.
Like maybe the first third.
God, I love these aesthetics. I love this aesthetic so much.
Yeah, it sounds great. It's got fun ska music with like dumbass, goofy ass lyrics in it.
Yeah, I tuned into some of the stream on Monday and saw that.
It's a really fun title. I really, really like it. Like it's a real feel good throwback kind of game.
Yeah. This is the exact kind of arcade racer I used to really be into. That like once they've got a little too like I've never been able to do. Even like the Forza Horizon just felt like too big and too too much. And then
they take
Forza
a little bit
GT
too much arcade out of it.
Yeah. Whereas this absolutely seems like a thing up my alley. So
I really can't believe like after all this time we haven't got like a good new like Hot Pursuit type game.
I mean, we did get Unbound.
Oh
no. Need for Speed Unbound was like a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
it was that game was good. Like, honestly, that game was good.
No, it was fine. But like there wasn't like
up the torch and been like, oh, we'll do this.
Yeah, there hasn't been like
surprised with Burnout the same way that no indie's been like, well, we'll just do what you guys did in the same way that like the Bomb Rush Cyberpunk just did Jet Set Radio.
Mm-hmm. But the fun part of Hot Pursuit was the PvP. And we haven't had like a good PvP.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on PvP for Unbound for sure.
Yeah.
Like they had all the stuff in there, but took out like the police chasing in the multiplayer world, and that just sucks. Like who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah, I put hundreds of hours into Hot Pursuit 2 when that came out.
Yeah.
The original Hot Pursuit, and then the new one that they just remastered for some reason.
Keep bringing them back.
Did somebody just die?
I don't know what that was.
Eric, before we go to me, unless you've been watching anything, can see Eric wanted to play a clip from your stream on Monday.
What? Is he asking me?
No, I think he's just played it.
Fuck you! Fuck! What did he beat you by? Fuck!
Well, there was no warning for that for audio listeners.
For a second,
I honestly forgot that happened.
For a second, I thought you were mad at Eric for playing the clip, and I was like, "Jesus, what's happening?"
That might be the biggest meltdown on any stream we've ever done.
How much did you lose by?
I'm so sorry. That was one of the toughest. Like I probably played that particular course the most times because the ghost was doing this inexplicable thing where on the first lap I'm kicking his ass, on the second lap it just gains a shit ton of speed, and I was finally ahead of it for the entire race until at the very last second he just zoomed past me.
That's incredible. Eric, please drop the link to the clip in the chat.
That was like a FIFA level rage quit.
I'm telling you, I was locked in. I was in the zone in the middle of a live stream. Like I didn't know anyone else was around me.
Send in super chats because we just got demonetized for that one.
That is funny as hell. Casey, you've been watching play anything else?
Yeah, someone in chat just mentioned. Yeah, I did finish Undertale. George Lucas
Oh,
asked
hell
me
yeah.
to review it.
Yeah.
Finished that with the fiance last Friday. Undertale is a great experience. It's I don't understand, I guess, the obsession with it. Like, folks made Undertale their whole personality back in the day. But like, I really like the humor in the game. I really like the story that's at the core of it. Like, it's really kind of this sad, morose tale of like, injustice or whatever. And I like how the whole premise kind of just plays with a lot of your notions and comfortabilities of just games in general. Like, they'll put you in front of enemies where you could kill this enemy. Like, they look dangerous. Like, they definitely interrupted your pathway to whatever you were going to. But you honestly need to find a way to interact with that enemy and figure out how to resolve the situation peacefully. Like, you can compliment them in certain cases. And it's like, if their responses to that, then you can just leave the fight afterwards with no harm done. And like, it's fun figuring that stuff out over and over again for all the different enemies. The dialogue is good. It's a really unique experience. Like, I've not played anything like it, honestly. But I don't know if I want to continue playing, like, to play more like it. Like, I feel like it's sort of a unique thing that if you keep trying to do this exact thing, it'll wear off, or like it won't work as well. But like, yeah, Toby Fox hasn't done anything since this, has he?
He's been working on Deltarune.
Oh, Delta, right? Yeah,
which
that's
has
on
been
the way.
episodic, and I think 2 episodes are out, and 3 and 4 on their way, and 5 is ultimately what they're
Eric
building.
Have folks been liking that?
I think so. Yeah, but I think it's also the like, oh, do I want to play this all now, or do I want to just wait till it's done? Which
right,
kind of the especially episodic TV is one thing when it's coming next week. Episodic games, Deltarune will probably come out over the course of 5 to maybe 10 years. Like, Kentucky Route Zero is the only episodic game I've ever gotten super into. And that took about 10 years to come out.
Damn.
From episode 1 to episode 5. So it's almost, you're better off playing them when they're done. Yeah, Undertale is one of those giant blind spots for me that I've been meaning to shore up at some point soon.
It's really funny.
Yeah,
like Deltarune. Is this just a straight up sequel?
I think it's like I don't know if it's in the same world. It uses a lot of the same art and
this it looks like it's using similar mechanics and stuff too.
Yeah, why change what if it's not broken?
All right, I'm intrigued now.
That old chestnut. Why change if it's not broken?
Like, if someone else was trying to do this, I don't think I'd be as interested as if Toby Fox is just continuing what he's doing. Like, I would go back to that.
Yeah, which like a million people have tried to do a similar thing, but it feels like he's like the guy where it's like almost like what what's his name? Why would I think his name is Rumblefish? What's the guy who made Stardew Valley?
Shit.
Eric?
Yeah.
No, his name is Eric something, right?
It's out of my brain. It is falling out of my brain.
Eric Barone.
Barone, yeah.
Concerned Ape.
Concerned Ape, yep.
Why did I think it was Rumblefish?
I mean, Chucklefish is a dev.
Chucklefish is a publisher, I think.
Publisher.
Yeah.
Rumblefish is a
Francis Ford
Coppola film.
Game.
Yeah.
For that.
Witchbrook, yeah, that might not be a real game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's real. Cool. Nick, you been playing or watch anything?
Yes, I because I got my monitor up here to Nebraska, I can enjoy my games at the correct frame rate again.
Of course. Of course.
I did start Anatria, the last song, which is that Souls-like that's set in like based off of like Italy folklore.
Yeah, you've been
Italian
picking that up.
Yeah. I quite like it. It's not very hard at all, really. And I would say like the bosses are interesting, but their patterns are very simple, which is kind of nice. I guess what the name was. It's Anatria, the last song. It definitely has like that good Souls-like map design where everything kind of loops back into itself, even though the areas like it's not one interconnected world. You travel load to other areas in the world, but each area is like a nice size where it almost has like a hub, like a main area, and then like dungeons that loop back within itself. Where like Liza P, I think, didn't do the looping as well, but it had like the really good combat. So basically, when I was talking about Anatri on social media the other day, I kind of put it like in the middle. It's not as good as Liza P, but it's not as bad as Steel Rising, even though I really like Steel Rising.
It's still
as well.
Steel Rising is kind of more mediocre than bad.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
if Steel Rising
fine.
is mediocre, then this is good, and then Liza P is great, and then Lord of the Fallen and Souls, Dark Souls and all that are excellent, I guess.
Lord of Fallen is behind
Don't you do
Lies
it.
of P.
Don't you
Like,
do
let's
it.
be
Don't
serious
you do
here.
it. Nope, you're wrong.
Not
It's
according
fine.
to Jack.
You're fine to be wrong.
It's you and Jess versus Nick and Jack.
And me and Jack are right. That's fine.
I like my team better.
Yeah, they're working on quite a few patches for Anatria, so it's the main issue I have with it right now is like when I'm playing it, and no matter what settings I change, it like has like this like flicker effect sometimes, or like it's not screen tearing, but like the game will literally just something will flick, I guess is the best way I can describe it. So I would maybe wait to buy this one for a couple more patches patches. I tried to put patches and balancing in one word as palages. I need to eat food. I need to eat dinner. I'm hungry.
It's a
but
balance that kicks you in the ass when you're looking over a cliff, and then all of a sudden you have to
Yes.
climb back up.
But yeah, I would definitely wait a couple months on this one and let the patches fix more things in it. But it's pretty solid. The other game I've been playing is Kill Knight, which you also streamed today. That one's
I tried that during the Next Fest, I think.
That's right.
It's not, yeah. So a lot of people kind of look at it and think it's another like Vampire Survivors like. It's very much not. It's just a bullet hell arcade game. Really, really crunchy, solid combat, and the game like gets quite difficult very quickly. Like I'm on. It took me quite a few tries to beat the first map, and once I beat the first map, the second map is like, Jesus, it just gets really tough. And there's 5 maps in total now, I think.
This isn't like it's not a roguelike at all, right? Like it's like you beat that first map and then you start on the second one. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's got elements of that. I guess I don't know. I don't even know. Like a roguelite is such a
Because what I mean is like
you earn points and you upgrade by completing challenges within the game. So no, it's not a roguelite at all because there's no like currency system for that.
But you have like a base set of abilities that are just there with you.
Yeah. You don't like
'cause-
unlock cars. You don't unlock like abilities as you play the level. You don't unlock anything. You go on with a set loadout. Jason Tudor says seemed like Yachts hated it. Yes, it's a game that requires very fast reflexes, which Yahtzee doesn't have anymore. So
We're old. It's hard.
And also, was he playing this like during a live stream?
Yeah, he was playing it during a live stream.
That's gonna screw him over too.
Yeah, if you don't do the tutorial for that game, you will miss out on combat mechanics. So like if you do pick this up, make sure you do the tutorial because it's actually pretty mechanically deep.
It reminded me a lot of the new Doom, where it's like do this in this situation in order to fuel this, which will let you do the next thing in this other situation, which I like a lot. Like it's like this it's sort of Ouroboros of mechanics in terms of like gameplay situations.
Yeah.
It just always keeps your brain firing and like juggling a million things at once.
Yeah, I would say the game's weakest point is, as somebody just pointed out in the chat, like kind of like the environment design. It's very bland, but that's also the game's aesthetic. It's just very muted, I guess is the way I would put it.
Yeah, it looks like it's predominantly like just red and black.
Yeah,
like red, black, and shadow.
But yeah, no, like I really, really enjoy the combat of this game. So if you like Vampire Survivors or games like that, I think you will actually probably like this too. You know, it's quite mechanically different and doesn't have the randomization that those games have. Oh, he lied about doing that. Did he go back to do the tutorial? Because I came in and said, "Did you do the tutorial, Yahtzee?" And he yelled at me because I asked.
Because anyone who asks that gets yelled at on a stream. What if I'm streaming and someone says, "Did you do the tutorial?" I'm gonna yell at them regardless.
I was watching him. I just was watching him miss the active reload. I'm like, he probably did do the tutorial because he didn't know there's an active reload, or he's just too slow to get it. Sorry, Yahtzee. And then the final game that I gave a go to is Lawrence Lure, which I know you guys
Jesse played that not too long ago. Just most recent week.
Did he end up liking it or not?
I actually ended up, I think, liking it more than he did, even though he was the one playing. So Jesse, I don't think was into it as much. He thought it was interesting,
Yeah,
but like I kind of like what it seems like it's going for.
I actually like it. Yeah, I finished it.
Oh, you finished it
I actually
already?
dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got through almost to the end of the first level, and then I got stuck somewhere, and then it made me, well, it said start over, and not thinking straight, it put me back into the start of the very start of the level where you go down like the tube, and I was like, oh no, I'm not happy about this.
I started too much over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
mechanically though, it's incredible.
yeah, it's a really good sort of creative first person running parkour climbing falling game. Like all the different actions. Again, talking about parking garage rally circuit, like it has that crunchy aesthetic that I just really fucking love, and there's something about it that immediately kind of puts me in a time and place. Dread Delusion earlier this year had had a similar thing, which I really liked.
Mhm.
And yeah, neat game. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Excited to watch video essays of people who are smarter than me talk about it.
Yeah,
Or like just speed runners, like
Oh
just
my god,
completely break it to hell.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
really want to see that sort of stuff.
It's yeah. So I guess if people don't know what this game is, it's a small indie game made by one guy completely. I've been watching it be developed for years now, and it's like just the aesthetic alone was what caught my eye when I saw it on Twitter for the first time. But essentially, it's a platformer and like a free climbing platformer, as I would describe it as. But the big flip is that you're kind of going down for a lot of it, and so it's a really just atmospheric, weird experience that, like, I don't know, just something like it's just really unique, and it's wave of very ununique indie games lately, with every game being a survivor's like or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's not too long, and has a rad ass atmosphere. Play with headphones, so I dug it. Yeah, Lawrence Lord.
Does the atmosphere hold up after the first level?
It does, in my opinion. Yeah, it's also not very long. Like I finished the game in like 2 settings, so it's
oh, okay.
Oh wow.
short.
Yeah.
They're slightly beefy, but definitely there were like 2 or 3 points where I had to look up a full.
I was gonna say a sitting for you, Marty, is like 6 to 8 hours.
I stand. Whoa.
Whoa, yeah, that's true. I know. You just got called out.
I mean, just because I sit down at 11 a.m. on a Sunday and I'm like, I will watch 3 footballs and then a movie afterwards, doesn't mean a sitting's that long. That I'm playing a game on Steam Deck.
I finished Lost in one sitting.
You finished Lost in one sitting. It's like 140 episodes.
You'd find a way. It's only 140 hours. You probably already put that in metaphor.
40-minute episodes. I haven't put 140 hours in metaphor. What are we doing? Zelda over here.
You will be.
God, Zelda over here. Fine. We're done. We're done. Everything was going cool right until the 97th minute, and you guys pissed me off. No, that about does it for us at the end of this wonderful episode of Firelink. Nick, what should folks check out? Where can folks find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky now. I'm on both Twitter and Blue Sky. It's same username, Nick Jacal. No, I'm not getting in Twitter fights. I'm just tweeting about cool games and cool stuff. I'm working on my next big unpack script, which is all about Ubisoft's problems catching up with it as a company. So I will have that out next week, and I'm pretty happy with the script on that one. Casey's not mentioning it at all.
Please don't. Yeah, don't. I have nothing to do with it.
Promise you not. He went rogue after I did it.
Yeah, he hasn't given me free Siege stuff yet, or whatever.
And now I no longer can.
Oh shit. Well,
for a second I thought you said seed stuff. Like I was like, plants? You hasn't given me heirloom tomatoes.
Yeah, we got a real gardening club going on in the back.
Yes, I'm waiting for my pimento seeds, Casey.
Love a pimento.
I'm waiting for
big fan of pimentos.
Delicious.
But yeah, other than that, I probably won't be on any streams until I'm back from Nebraska. So we'll see you there.
Hell yeah, Casey.
Yeah, same. You can find me at Sigma Gears 9 on all the social medias. That does include Blue Sky, though I've not sent a single thing on Blue Sky yet. I mean, I check it every now and then, so like I'm seeing stuff, but like I don't have the energy. Outside of that, yeah, this week, this is my last stream thing. I got taking a flight this weekend, so no Metroid. We won't be starting Metroid until next week, and no wedding stream because my fiance is also traveling with me. Outside of that, check out my latest review, Elsie, that just came out, and also Elise just released a review for Keylocker, which I helped edit. So check that out as well. And Adventures Nigh remasters on Saturday, and just I don't know, be good people to the other people. That's all I have.
That's all we ask. Yeah, and then we'll have in terms of other stuff going up tomorrow at noon Central. Jack will be hosting a sponsored stream for Schismo Sideshow, a game he's been looking forward to. So we'll be doing that. Might do another stream sometime tomorrow or Friday. We don't know. We'll see. We got a new Design Delve though on Friday from Jay, so check that out. Yes, about Astrobot. So that'll be good stuff. A lot of good bite size, some fun videos in the works for y'all. So get excited for about that. And then I'll probably doing streams on my personal channel this weekend as well. Probably some Friday. Maybe I'll just I'll steal a movie and watch it or something on Friday or something.
Like fucking stream.
Fucking silent. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Then I just delete the stream.
I mean, I totally did that for karaoke. So
it's fine. It's fine. Who's going to arrest? Who's going to arrest me? The director of Silent Hill, the movie 2, starring Kid Haring.
Oh God.
No, he's in jail. So no, absolutely not.
Yes, exactly. I thought you said Kid Haring.
Get out of jail free card.
No, Jon Snow. He was the wall. He was allowed to leave the wall. His watch had ended. Yeah, and then that all the normal stuff next week. So tune in for that.
Make sure to go check out our PAX videos too that we did.
Yes, check out our PAX videos. You guys made some good ass PAX videos.
They were a lot of fun. Check those out.
They were fun.
Hell
definitely videos for like our core audience only, but you know, viewership wise, they're doing okay.
Yeah. And then starting next week, we should have some. We have some special Halloween spooky season centric streams in the works. There's gonna be definitely some spooky hidden gems. I know Jamate is putting down some money to play. I'm not putting down some money. He's just literally we're scheduling him. He's never played Resident Evil 7, so he wants to play through Resident Evil 7. Jesse's got a bunch of hidden gem spookies he wants to play, so all sorts of fun stuff. We'll have a big schedule for that as well. So for Casey and Nick and Eric, this was the Firelink Podcast, episode number 39. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Jewel Rao! Sorry, €2 dono right before we end. Money.
Or did we go back and read those ones we skipped over earlier too?
Oh, what? Did we?
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I thought I was saving all of them.
I thought we said we were going to skip 2 and come back to them, brother. Oh yeah, we read that one from Red Dwarf and then Denmark's okay. We're good.
Okay, so despite the fact that as the host, I actually hosted the show correctly and handled everything when I was supposed to, and then during the outro, you interrupted.
Pretty much.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's what was.
Yeah.
Marty's gonna punch me.
For Casey, Eric, and Marty, and the three of us alone. So I'm sorry, like episode number 30. Thank you all so much for tuning in, for hanging out. You all are wonderful. Everyone on YouTube, everyone on your podcast service of choice. Your support means the world to us. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see y'all later.
Good night, everybody.
I may not see you later.
Wow.